Hello, hello, and welcome, or should I say ho, 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 Christmas cousins. I'm Cousin Chad.
And I'm Cousin Seth.
And Cousin Seth, we've got such a fun show tonight. We have special guests that we are about to introduce, and it's going to be fantastic. But first, Cousin Seth, who are we and what do we do? Now, we asked you to run this through a few weeks ago. Do you want to take it or should I take it?
I'm going to leave this to you. We know how, maybe we don't. Some people don't know how bad and dismal it was. But.
I love when you do it. So basically, I'm Cousin Chad, and the whole crux of this podcast is I love the holidays, I love the seasons, I love everything about them, and I was celebrating every day and everything you could do. And I was talking to my beloved cousin Seth, who's been my cousin since birth. That's the way it works with genealogy and family. So I said, Seth, what are you doing? You're doing nothing. You're walking into pumpkin spice season and having black coffee. You're going through December and getting like regular milk when you could be having eggnog and all this fun stuff you're missing. So I said, we've got to do this journey where I take you through the seasons, the holidays, teach you on. We bring on expert guests and they teach you and give you all these side quests to do. And we see what happens. You've almost thrown up from having eggnog. You've seen a Rocky Horror Picture Show-esque version of It's a Wonderful Life. You've grown through our very eyes. Your heart has grown 3 magical sizes, Cousin Seth. And it's beautiful. So we are here today, I think 164 episodes in. You're still standing like Elton John, Cousin Seth, which is wonderful. And we've got even new, very special guests today. Now, if you love Hallmark Christmas movies, and we're going to be reviewing Hallmark's The 5-Year Party tonight. I know this won't be a 5-year long episode. It'll be, relatively short, but there's a lot to cover. And we have with us Jennifer and Josh from the Do You Watch What I Watch podcast. We've been waiting to have them on for a long time. They're very busy. Thank you guys for joining us. Look at the audience loves you already.
Well, love a good audience. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It is a joy to be with you guys. Thanks for having us.
It is a joy to have you. Are you both okay with our live studio audience? They do get raucous. They're a little rowdy.
We love raucous. We love a party.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
We love some hype. Yeah. For the
awesome. They are huge fans. I know this is the thing. So we just met. We haven't been on before. This happens to a lot of people. In our pre-production meeting, it was your first time being face-to-face with Cousin Seth, and you were starstruck. You could barely... Jennifer, your whole computer glitched at his star power. I understand.
My computer needed to run 5 updates just to capture all the magnitude and the weight of tonight. So thank you for being willing to support me in this time. And I'm just, I'm going to need your virtual autograph, Cousin Seth.
Oh, absolutely.
Seth,
it happens every guest.
I didn't get you a real one.
Oh, cool. Even better. And if I can use
someone on
it to
staff.
import your signature on important documents, even better.
Right.
Now that you've just admitted to it.
So Jennifer and Josh, they run the Do You Watch What I Watch podcast. They have about 103 episodes. Check it out on YouTube. Check it out everywhere fine podcasts are. Even places where bad podcasts are, you can find them. Although theirs are the sterling, beautiful podcasts on there. So Cousin Seth, once they get our vast audience, they are going to blow up. I hope they're ready. Can you give us the latest count, Cousin Seth, on what our daily audience is? Because it's growing by leaps and bounds.
We had a nice little jump this afternoon, and we are officially at 31,000,874.
Oh yeah, now we dance. Oh yeah,
it's admirable. It's an admirable fan count.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are killing it.
Thank you. Now, Jennifer and Josh, it's a hand count done by Seth. It hasn't been verified, so it's 31 million. It could be off by 30 or 31 million. However, we like to believe it's big. So let's get into your history. How did you get started? I found out a little bit from Josh before we started, but you tell the audience, all 31 million of them, how did you get started with your podcast? What's your interest in Hallmark? How did you two meet? Give us all the dirt. Right, audience? That's what we want?
That's what we want. Yeah. Okay, so Jennifer and I have been friends for, the better part of 15 years or so, and we both live in the Nashville area. We actually met through church and really struck up a good friendship, and we have been friends all that time. And 3.5 years ago, we were at a friend's birthday dinner in the Franklin, Tennessee area. And we got to talking about, of all things, a Hallmark movie over dinner. And as one does, right?
Good common ground, right?
Exactly. And we were realizing that as we were talking about this movie, the conversation was just really fun and really lively. And someone from across the table was like, this would make a great podcast. And Jennifer and I were like, actually, it probably would make a good podcast, because I think we've got that friendship thing where there's just great candor and great conversation, and there's just an ease to the way that we talk with each other about these sorts of things, and we share a mutual appreciation for the highs and sometimes the lows of these movies that we sometimes have to endure on some of these channels, and most of the time find a way to enjoy as well.
And you could tell when you watch your show, I've been watching, not listening, but that you guys are actual real friends. Because sometimes people go together and they just met for the show, and you can tell, and you have that background, that camaraderie, which is good. And I like that you're talking about the highs and the lows, because sometimes the lows are the most fun part of these movies too.
Yes.
The really stinker movies make some of the best episodes, let's be honest. So
they really do. Right?
This year we did a random draft to figure out which movies we were going to cover, because we would love to watch them all. Honestly, we just can't. So maybe one day. So the random wheel that we spun gave us a lot of good and scary options of what we're going to cover this season. So
that's how you do it. You put in all the names of the hats, basically, and then you just
week
you
by
made
week,
an actual wheel.
Week by week,
and then we spin the wheel. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you cover what, one a week, or how many do you do?
We're doing 2 a week, and sometimes if there's a bonus one that we didn't wind up drafting, but we still want to do a mini episode, we're going to probably pop on with a special episode here or there. Or if one of us happens to watch something extra and the other person didn't, we might just put a quick little review on our social channel as well. We're just trying to do what we can do to be where people are in terms of what the popular ones are going to be, but at the same time, maybe expose people to some ones that they hadn't necessarily considered watching. Because sometimes there can be a diamond in the rough that isn't getting a lot of publicity or a lot of press that winds up being, in some cases, the best one of the season. You never know.
It's the My Norwegian Troll rule, Josh. Last year we drafted My Norwegian Troll, and I was like, I don't want to watch a movie about a magical troll, and it was one of our favorites in the end. So
Jennifer, you took the words right out of my mouth. That was the shocker of the season last year, the Norwegian Troll one. It really was. Yes, that's an excellent point. Do you guys have, now with Cousin Seth had never seen these before, so part of our journey is going through and doing all these fun holiday things. So we cover all this stuff, and Hallmark's one of it. I love these movies. So Seth had just really started watching his first ones last year. Now, I started him off with a classic to me, which most people don't find a classic, but so I do want to find out which, for you both, are classics to you that are like your must-watch or must-rewatches. But for me, I started him off, I believe it was the first one, Seth, that might not have been Picture a Perfect Christmas, which most people hate, and I love that movie. Watch it every year, maybe sometimes 6 or 7 times a year. I don't know, call me crazy.
Oh, you really love it. Yeah,
I do. I'll just watch it. Yeah.
I've seen it. I don't know that it's one that comes to my mind, but that's what makes this fun. Everybody has different things that they like. Some people like the royal movies, not me personally. Some people like the travel movies, the small town movies. Like there's something for everybody. So for me personally, the first movie I made Josh watch, even though he'd seen some of these before, I was like, you have to watch Snow Bride. It's from like 2015-ish. Has Katrina Law in it and the mom from Home Improvement. Have you seen it?
Yeah, she gets in the car accident and kind of stays with like the Kennedys, kind of like the Kennedys find her. Seth, you like this one. Yeah, it's bonkers.
It's totally out there, but it's funny and it's still endearing. It's one of the first ones I saw like in real time. So
you know what I like about that one? If she had, I'm sorry, say that again, Jennifer.
Oh, it holds a special place in my heart. That's all.
Because that was like your nascency with these movies, basically. Mm-hmm. But what I love with that movie is she gets into an accident and kind of gets taken in by like this Kennedy family. But if she got into an accident, it was like some, other family, they'd be like calling the cops. They'd be like, they kidnapped me.
But said. Then it ends up on Lifetime because then she's getting murdered. It's a different tonal shift, right?
That's right.
Hallmark, it's okay.
And we know it's going to be safe at the end because there's no colon in it. It's not Snow Bride, the so-and-so story.
Right. That's true, right. I love the sleigh ride to hell. Yeah.
I think my favorite is probably the 9 Lives of Christmas. I'm a big Seth fan, and that one I think is just kind of my go-to when I want to watch something that's familiar and warm and fuzzy and all of that.
Huh.
And you have cats. You have cats too.
I'm a cat guy, so it all sort of comes together.
Interesting. Seth, have you seen that one? 9 Lives of Christmas?
Not at all. Is that
there's also a
fairly
sequel, The Nine Kittens of Christmas. So I mean, there's that too. So
all right.
it could be a double feature.
Jennifer wasn't as impressed with the kid.
The sequel is unnecessary.
Really good. Yeah.
The first one answered all the questions.
Yeah. I watched the first one. I didn't watch the sequel. I can't say I loved the first one. Too much time in like the firehouse or whatever. I wanted to like to go and, see the mountains or something. But I know a lot of people like that one. So Jennifer, Snow Bride is your favorite or just your first that you saw?
It's my favorite. It's my go-to. I have to watch it like you multiple times a year. It will always hold a special, special place in my cold, cold heart. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Seth, do you have a favorite out of what you've seen so far? You've seen about 16, 17 now, maybe? Do you have a favorite? Do you remember them? Do you block them out?
Oh, wow. That was a long time ago. It's already, that information has been pushed out with some of the new ones. Granted, I've only seen 3, but it's not a one-for-one replacement. So,
right.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, real quick.
Well, Seth, you have to answer the question.
I was going to deflect.
He's like a politician, this guy.
I know, right? Pivot.
I did. I mean, the Christmas Cottage, I liked.
Great one.
It was. I think it fell around that time that I watched that first one, or the one that you were just talking about. The name escapes me.
Are you watching something right now, Seth, and not listening to the podcast?
No, not at all. No. We're doing a podcast right now?
He's multitasking.
Wait a second.
I had no
World
idea.
Series. I hear the World Series in the background.
Right. No, but I was going to ask you, do you remember the movie that you discussed in your first meeting or that first conversation?
Good question.
That is a good question. What was it, Jennifer? I don't know that I remember.
It was the Laura Bell Bundy movie, the Mar Vista, that you liked so much.
Oh, the Mar Vista. Yes.
Oh, what's it called? It wasn't a Hallmark.
It
was one that was
the
like
Christmas
on Amazon.
calendar. That one.
The Christmas calendar. It was about like an advent calendar, and we had a bakery. We had a competing bakery with a suspiciously fake foreign accents. Some old biddies in the town were involved in a romance, and it was. Our sound quality was not up to snuff, but the content was there from the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about our podcast. We're not exclusively Hallmark. We are equal opportunity. If you want to throw us a cheesy movie on Netflix or Great American Family, Great American Christmas, whatever we call it this time of year, or Up TV, Lifetime, whatever. Yeah.
We did some Up TVs last year, and one included like a robot, like a Christmas. It was like a
AI. It was a Christmas AI situation.
It gets weird. It gets weird.
Weird.
Spread out from Hallmark, but
When you two watched that, did the Up TV executives call you like, "Hey, we had a ratings of 2 viewers last week, and we found out who they were. We want to personally thank you for watching."
Yeah, exactly. We did not get an Up TV T-shirt out of it. If you're wondering.
But they did repost our reviews, and they were very appreciative.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
We are not sponsored by Up TV. No.
Right. No. Not yet. With our 31 million viewers and listeners, I think you'll be all right. But let them know. It's way more than they have, that's for sure. Seth, we should watch an Up TV one just as punishment for you. If you don't,
you really should.
Yeah.
Because the production quality, the production quality really takes a deep dive the further away you get from Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, Hallmark's got the lock, and they're not perfect, as we all know, but they have the lock on the formula and the sets and the designs, and then it gets scary out there, guys. It depends on how stupid you're willing to be.
We watched one on Up TV that you get the sense that they rented out a Holiday Inn for the weekend and just shot the whole thing at the Holiday Inn. Do you remember that one where they had their hotel rooms were supposed to be side by side, and it was quite obvious that they used 2 conference rooms that were side by side because they had the plastic signs right next to the door where you insert the thing that's inside the room. It was a bit much.
Oh no! Do they have like roaches with Santa hats on and
right,
stuff?
Exactly. Like, scurrying about. Yeah.
They're like, that's just part of the scenery.
Anything.
Ambiance. Yeah. Right.
I guess so. So there is the first one I ever saw actually was called Poinsettias for Christmas, which was a Lifetime one with the guy from Dukes of Hazzard and Bethany Joy Lenz and I think like maybe Marcus Rosner. It was fantastic. I was like, oh, these are great. And I was watching it like waiting to make fun of it, and then I was just like a quarter of the way through, I'm like, I'm enjoying this, but that's not cool. Like, I can't. And then halfway through, I'm like, I'm like hugging my dog and crying, and my dog's trying to get away from me. And then by the end, I'm like, ooh, are there any more of these? There are hundreds. Wow, this is amazing.
Are there any more?
There's always
Rookie
one
mistake.
that's a gateway. There's got to be one that's a gateway, because I would watch like one or two a year randomly. But 2020, I made my mission. I was like, stuck at home, let me just watch all of the new Hallmark movies, and I'll post about them on my Instagram stories. And I had friends. Now I have a career, I have a family. Friends were commenting, "This is what you're meant to do," and I was like, "Really? This is what I'm meant to do?" Thanks. But that's kind of what got us really watching it and into it. So
I like it.
It
Calling
just
it
takes one.
gateway. Yeah,
Just
right.
takes
It's
one.
like marijuana. Next thing you know, you're a full-on Hallmark heroin addict, basically.
Right. Can't get enough.
Just chasing the
If you
high.
need help, I feel like there should be a helpline at the bottom now. If you need help with Christmas movies, call.
Exactly.
That is funny. Call whatever 976 Santa or whatever they would have,
Right.
and they still charge 75 cents a minute. Seth used to call those numbers. Remember in the 90s?
The party lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were fun. Nothing wrong with that, Seth.
Nothing
we'll
wrong.
In the
We're
off
some
season, we'll
great
do a whole
people.
show. Yeah,
It's just a safe space.
you did. That's right. It is. But I do believe we're here for a specific movie, if I recall, called The 5-Year Christmas Party. And this was an interesting one, a different one, because it had a story arc that took place over 5 years. Now, the very first week, we watched 'Twas the Day Before Christmas, which took place over the course of basically a day. So it was such a nice contrast. So I want to get right into it. We'll get into overall feelings, your holiday vibes check. Was this movie as magical as Christmas morning, or was it more like unwrapping socks? That's what we want to know. So overall, what did you think of this movie? And we will go first with, Jennifer, if you'd like to go first and give us your overall vibe. That's right. Lots of pressure on this show. This show's like 60 minutes. It's whatever you want. I was just saying, does it fill you with holiday cheer, or is it like stale gingerbread, basically?
Oh gosh, so many things. I enjoyed this movie. I don't know that the Christmas warm fuzzies were like, if I have a chart or a gauge, I don't know that they were at the top.
Okay.
And that's okay. But I think this movie probably could have taken place any time of year. And if we're only meeting annually anyways, this could have been a 4th of July movie. Could have been an Easter movie. Could have been a Groundhog Day movie. So as far as Christmas feels go, my Christmas feels were not off the charts. I hope that's okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that take on it. I'm going to be swayed so easily. Whoever's the last person to talk is what I'm going to think. I'm an empty vessel.
That's not to say I didn't like it. I have lots of things to talk about that I liked, but just right off the gate, that's my initial reaction. And there you go. And then move on to somebody else. I
like that. Okay. So, Josh, what are your thoughts here on your just overall feeling of it?
Overall feeling, I think it gave me definitely the warm and fuzzies, but like Jennifer, and we're often pretty quick to note this when they take one of these plots and just plop it right into the Christmas season, and that sort of felt like the case here. As Jennifer said, I think this could have happened in summer or Valentine's Day, whenever, and so there was really nothing for me that tied it to Christmas. I mean, they tried with this whole subplot about her with the Christmas production at the theater and the whole 9 yards, and all of these Christmas parties that they went to, year after year after year. But outside of that, it didn't really feel like necessarily tied intimately to the season, but still warm and fuzzy for me.
Okay, I like that. I think that's a good thought. Oh, the crowd would politely like that one
you.
too. Okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah, you never know. They all clap. They start and end in unison. Our crowd is very disciplined. Cousin Seth.
Yes.
Times. What you voted sexiest podcaster on earth recently by Time Magazine, Seth. I've had the pleasure. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of seeing him in person. And it's even more fabulous than the rectangle you're looking at right now. So trust me. And I've known him since the 70s. And then he was in diapers. It was weird. That was through the mid 80s even. But Seth, that's for another show. Cousin Seth, what were your overall vibes? Did you actually watch the movie? Now, Jennifer and Josh, he's not watched some of these. So, yeah, we never know on this show.
There were a couple times. I got the gist of it. I gave it there were a couple that I gave the 10-minute trial test to.
So I kind of always like to have a backup guest on that I know have watched the movie.
Fair enough.
We did the homework.
Yeah, exactly.
But on this occasion, I have shown up prepared.
Awesome.
Is Seth prepared? So taking it.
So what were your holiday vibes? Cousin Seth, the world wants to know.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was I'd say a feel-good movie. There were a couple things that I got a little hung up on, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the leads. I felt, I mean, I don't go too much into it, but I felt like the two of them, Max and Alice, were a nice little departure from the typical leads. I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want any backlash, but from the usual lead starring man or woman or whatever. But
like Tyler Hines, Seth is scared to death of the Heinies, so he will not say anything against Tyler.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful.
A healthy fear of the Heinies. Okay, you guys. Okay. They're loyal.
They'll have no fury like a Heine scorn.
Absolutely. No true words have been spoken.
Right?
Seth, tell him about the time you got his name wrong 3 times in a row.
Absolutely.
True story. Literally, we're on air, and Cousin Seth that he watched the Taylor Haynes movie, and all of a sudden, we're at this door. We hear knocking. It's like Molly coming and knocking, doorbell. It was like, all of a sudden they were trying to get in. It was really scary, and all of a sudden, door opened, and I just hear this. That's it. He's recovered.
We had meetings about damage control. Like, how are we going to do this? Like, we need to start doing Instagram lives. We need to get out there into the community and really talk to the people. And
it was, but now you're good. Seth, what is his full name?
Tyler Hines.
Hey,
were my lips moving when I did that before I actually said it? Like,
that is awesome. So Seth, you said, okay, you liked it overall. Correct. Okay. For me, I really like Jennifer and Josh. You're saying that it could take place any time of the year. For me, it's really important that it has to be Christmassy. I want it Christmassy over plot, over anything. I want to see like every room really greatly decorated. That's why I don't like Up TV. They'll have like not even a tree. They'll have a twig and one ornament. But Hallmark is like everywhere. It's really crazy. A lot of their movies this year have been like loaded with it. Operation Nutcracker had really great decorations. So for me, I was missing that. I thought it was really clever how they did it over 5 years. I like that. I thought the acting was great. We'll get into the favorite parts. Overall, it was good, but was it super Christmassy? No, it wasn't. And it took place in Chicago, where my dear cousin Seth is, but I don't like the ones in the big city. I like small towns, mountain towns. So it had a big check against it. And Seth, I didn't even see you there.
Right. That was probably, it lost a lot of marks or got a lot of strikes against it.
Yeah.
I was hopeful that this was going to be the one, like, oh, you know what? It took place in a city. I was a little, this is you talking. So,
I see that. I would say that. Okay.
Like,
right.
You might have this transition, be like, oh, I can see it. I have a connection. My cousin, Seth is in Chicago. He's maybe going to do some of these things. I don't know. But apparently you didn't.
My wife begrudgingly watched it with me, as she does once in a while. If I can break her down and get her to watch these with me, she doesn't really like these movies generally. And I said, "Oh, it's in Chicago where cousin Seth is, that toddling town or whatever." And it just didn't have a lot of Chicago landmarks and things that we would have seen. But but we digress. So next, we're going to get into favorite parts, our stocking stuffer moments. What scene or scenes or part made your heart grow 3 sizes Grinch style? We're going to start this time, Josh, if you'd like to take us off and give us your insights on what exactly made it feel as comforting as sipping hot cocoa by the fire.
So I think for me, it would probably be, because I like this whole device that they had where we got 5 segments, right? It were the 5 years and we saw their relationship develop. But for me, to your question, I think it's probably year 4 because they've had some time to grow in their friendship and some time to work through some stuff. And by this point in the plot, Max has had some reasonable success in his career and she's been ghosted by him. And they have this heart-to-heart conversation that I think really is a turning point in their relationship. The thing I really enjoyed about this whole thing is that Jennifer and I always talk about, does the relationship feel earned? And you got to wonder, how earned can a relationship be when they've been together, a day or 2 weeks or a month, that sort of thing. But the fact that this thing breathed and developed and we saw it do that over the course of 5 years, and specifically in this 4th year for me, I think was the part that was definitely my favorite, and for that reason I loved it.
Earned relationship. I like that.
Earned.
Okay.
Yes.
I like that. Jennifer, give us your favorite parts here.
My favorite parts, I like the zany moments. So I liked when they were trying to be carolers singing and they were awful. Knowing
was fun,
that
yeah.
Max is actually, he's a Broadway star. Did you all know this? He was in Hamilton. He's been in all kinds of stuff. I just found this out online. I'm not like a Broadway baby, but he's big time there. So the fact that he was playing like he couldn't sing makes it even funnier to me. And I really liked the bit later when they're at that Christmas party and they do the Santa's lap game. I thought that was really funny too. So
right, okay. Those are the it was really fun when they did the singing and everything, and they knew they were just like whatever. I thought he would be great. I don't know what he was or his background. If they ever do like a Prince biopic, I thought he'd be fantastic. He had, like, same, the good look. I had not seen a couple before where the female lead was taller than the male lead. Right?
That was interesting.
Because it's only like a foot difference the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she has like the really short, choppy hair, which we don't always see. Usually all these Hallmark leads have these blowouts, like long extension hair. So and she dressed in pants. She wasn't in like skirts and red peacoats the whole time. So their whole vibe, I really enjoyed. I thought they looked beautiful together. So.
Yes, definitely a lot of fun. And well, Seth, speaking of tall drinks of water, you're 6'4", but
in Chicago,
his partner, his girlfriend, is taller than him. She's 7'3", so it is similar to what we had here.
Right.
She's playing tonight for the New York Liberty. She's doing great. I heard she just scored a few points. So, Seth, what was your stocking?
She's so loving and just always wanting to cuddle or at least cradle me like a baby.
She's just so tall, yeah.
She's the big spoon.
That's right.
That's always.
You've been there. Josh has been there. We've had the big spoon, small spoon discussion. Actually, recently.
Oh, see, it's perfect.
Seth, I installed a webcam in your house, and Josh is the subscriber. I forgot to tell you. So.
That's it.
Jennifer, I'll send you the code. Don't worry, for appearing on the show. It's part of the gift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. Seth, what was it? What was your mistletoe-worthy moment? Your Yuletide delight?
There was a couple things. I love. I say the relationship. So from the beginning, I could tell just Max had something for her. It seemed like he did, and he was very patient with her and stuff. But as I'm watching this, and I don't want to get too off track, but I don't know if you ever read Tina Fey's book, Bossy Pants. She's kind of talking about growing up in Chicago, and she was involved in theater and stuff like that. It kind of kept popping into my head. And I don't know if I kind of adapted it myself to the storyline or kind of started finding parallels. But so I kind of like that, just the storyline. That was take place in the Chicago area. It was a city. But one thing I thought was very funny is when Alice sits down, I can't remember at what point, maybe like midway through the movie, she sits down to watch a movie. And it's like a Hallmark style. It's like Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater.
Yeah.
It's a real one.
It's a real one.
Oh, is it really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. I just thought that was kind of funny. I was like, oh, it had that look on the TV of a Hallmark movie. So.
And there are also a couple of references, I don't know if you picked up on this, to Ashley Williams, who is, of course, a Hallmark queen as well. So
and was in the movie.
And was she? Did I
in
miss
Never
her?
Kiss a Man with a Christmas Sweater.
Oh,
yes.
well, yes.
Oh.
And
She was
then
in the Christmas sweater movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then at the end, he gets a gig on a TV show, and presumably it's a show that she's on as well, which I thought was a nice nod at the end.
Oh, that is funny. Wow. That so cousin Seth, guess what?
Yes.
I have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
More conclusive than a DNA test that we're cousins is that my favorite part was also that little Hallmark thing that they did there. Yes,
No
it was.
kidding.
It was really. I loved that. I was like, oh, that's so fun that they're kind of making. Oh, the crowd's just going wild. Audience, they're so enthusiastic. Our crowd is crazy. They do wait outside for hours. You saw them in the cold.
Yeah.
Which is wild that we're all here together with them, but we're in separate states. I don't know how the logistics work, but they're here.
Christmas magic.
It is Christmas magic, exactly. But I love that because Every time we watch these movies, they stopped at the same time. Every time we watch these movies, they go, I'm watching It's a Wonderful Life. And I'm like, why wouldn't you watch a Hallmark movie? That's what we're all doing anyway. It's so I really like that. It was a fun twist with Ashley Williams in there. And I was like, maybe she's involved. But I think the guy who wrote it also wrote something that maybe she was in or something. There was some connection. But that was my favorite part. I really like that. Because it's also rewarded people who really watch these movies. Because if you're a casual watcher, the line's a throwaway. But if you watch these, then you're like, okay, that's fun. That's kind of inside. So very meta, as the kids would say.
Yeah, it's meta. It's like a little Easter egg. I want more of those. We've been saying
more of those.
They should make like, what is that? Like the Marvel universe intertwines. The Hallmark universe should just have. There should always be one Google search title. There should be one dating app. Like they always make these kooky fake names for stuff. Let's streamline it. Let's put different businesses kind of as through lines. I think that'd be very fun. But I don't
Smarter, not harder, team. Let's go.
That's right. That is. Oh, and I do remember what the connection is. The writer, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe it's the same person who wrote Sister Swap, which Ashley Williams and her sister were both in. That would be it, right? But I totally agree, Jennifer. More connection in the universe, like drive to Vermont, but maybe drive through Evergreen. Just like show the sign. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah.
Love
that would be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
And they do that a little bit. They had Niall Mater was a DJ in Santa Summit last year. They had one guy as they work at coffee bars. So there, but more. We want more. I like that.
We want more. We always want more.
We want more. We want more. We want. That's right, audience. Let's do it. Let's riot. Let's go. Let's get wild. All right. Sorry. The show always ends in a riot. So next up is that's Seth's punk rock background, which we did do a full show on punk rock Christmas songs, which is really fun if you missed it. Yeah, it's a good one.
Go back and watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. We have next up, lump of coal, your least favorite parts. So this one, we're having so much fun, we're going to bring it down a notch. So what scene deserved to be banished to the island of misfit toys? Jennifer, you're up. We're all waiting.
Well, I think mine would be just, I do not agree with Josh that their relationship was earned, because I just feel like so presumably they talk 1 or 2 days every year for 5 years. Then they ghost each other. They both did it, which annoyed me. It's bad enough that one of them did it and then the other one did it. Presumably they're not even friends on Facebook or X or any of the other, the gram, because they don't know when the other one's getting like a promotion or the gig and the blah, 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 whatever, insert acting stuff here. So I just don't believe that at the end when he says, I love you, I loved that scene. I thought it was sweet and I wanted them to be together. But based on what? Like you see each other a couple times a year. I don't get it.
Interesting.
I'm sorry.
That's fair. That's fair.
Josh is gonna kick me off my own podcast. I might need a podcast.
Listen, and this is the beautiful thing about our podcast. Sometimes we really agree, and sometimes we really disagree. And so, we had probably one of our most contentious discussions about.
The dirt comes out.
I know the dirt comes out. About what movie, Jennifer? The Christmas charade. We recorded it last night. Comes out later this week, and it's a heated discussion, dare I say.
What a tease. Audience, check that out. Do you watch what I watch? Seth, we have to see that now. That's going to be great.
Well, yeah, because that was the one. I haven't recorded. I have not watched it, but I think you were going to pass on it.
Yes, passing. I will not do a spy thriller.
Yes, and then I will have to watch your guys' review of it. And then I'm going to really unload on Chad.
Please do.
I turned it on at one point. They were stuck in a vent, and the vent wasn't even decorated for Christmas. I said, I can't watch this. This is so not Christmassy. No big cities, no vents.
Seth gets it. Okay.
There it is. Okay, there it is.
Well, if Josh kicks me off, can it be Christmas cousins plus a Nashville distant relative?
Oh, totally. Yes.
Honorary cousins.
Yeah.
Jennifer, if we pay, if we pay enough to
from West Virginia, and everybody's related, so it's fine.
Yeah, you guys are. I hear if we pay an extra $20 to like 23andMe, we can make anyone our cousin. So don't worry about it.
True. Yeah. Very true.
Let's do it.
We did, Seth. Remember, we both paid an extra $100. So in our family tree, we have royalty. It was like it's so cool. Yeah. So that's a whole nother thing, though. But cousin Seth, your least favorite point
for the moment you've all been waiting for.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst thing. I think they may have been a little lazy with the writing in their meetups, or their not rekindling, reuniting when they're reunited. It was just like the same thing. It's just the catering business or this. It was just like, why couldn't they be? It was just a very set place, and why couldn't it be somewhere else? Or see it at an outdoor Christmas market or something. They ended up going to one or anything. It was just it kept going back to. I was like, all right, so it kind of took me out of it.
And every year they were surprised. Oh, it's you. Well, of course it's you. You've been for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And your sister runs it. Yeah, he's probably going to be there again. That I agree. That was lazy.
Yes. Agreed.
Great point, Seth. You're right, because it could have been 5 meet cutes in one movie. That would have been fun.
Right.
And so they did blow that. And also, yeah, that's right. And Jennifer, I agree with what you said about the no social media. Like, that's unacceptable in a movie in 2024. Like, of course they could have talked every day by text. They could have grown their relationship. Yeah. FaceTime. Yeah. There's no point to not talk. If this is 1984, fine.
Right.
But so, okay. So for me, this is a big no-no. This drives me crazy in these movies. They are in Chicago in the winter. They are outside without beanies, without jackets, without gloves. They're not even cold. At one point he goes, aren't you cold? She's like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
That's right.
Yeah. Look, you ever slept in an alley in Chicago in the dead of winter? when they're having, I think it was Christmas Eve, the final Christmas Eve that leads into Christmas that they spend together. I think the night before, they go out into the alley and they're sharing a meal or something. They're just casually sitting out there. I was like, you have no, like that. Yes, that's protecting you from the wind, but it's still 20, 30 below. Like the wind.
No one's doing that.
Just like,
no one's doing that.
Not romantic. No.
Yeah. Or even on the rooftop when they kiss and they're not like chattering teeth and breaking their beautiful smiles and stuff like that. That didn't work. So yeah, that drives me crazy because I'm like, I know you filmed these in the summer, but please suck it up. Look, that's their teeth chattering right now. Suck it up and wear a beanie. I don't care if you're schwitzing or not, okay? You need to do it up, and because it takes me out of it totally. And they were like, Seth, do they have like full outdoor parties in Christmas in Chicago? I mean, they could. They do them in like Iceland, but a lot of the parties were outside.
Yeah, mostly everything's inside. Right, it's a house party. People venture out onto the wobbly, shaky deck about 30 feet up, but a little precariously hanging over. But it's. I mean, if you're gonna see people outside during the winter, I mean, they're not shoveling or something like that, but at like an outdoor market or
right,
you could do something like that, for a couple hours, but that's it. Yeah, we don't make habit of just hanging outside and entertaining, and we like the warmth.
Right. Well, I can tell, Seth, it's late October when we're filming this, and you haven't been outside in months. I mean, look at that tan. I mean, that's beautiful, my cousin.
It's actually a thing. I had a nice little hue to me.
Oh, really? Yeah. He comes to visit me when he goes surfing and everything. He comes home, he's like bright red for like a week. It's great. So,
nice.
Yeah. That's how we do it. So speaking of weird and ridiculous moments, we are next on to Santa's Weird List. What part of the movie had you questioning if the writers had one too many eggnogs? It could have been a scene, a line, anything. What was your weirdest or most ridiculous moment? And then that, for me, that kind of overlaps with the lump of coal moment that they were outside with that weather, but I'll have something else. So I believe, Josh, it's your turn, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So for me on this, I think it's probably going to be, they tried really hard early on to do this thing with the bell ornament, where he gave her this bell ornament. It was supposed to be this really symbolic gesture. And then they really never did anything with it the rest of the, like, she pulled it out and maybe looked at it one time. It was meant to be this thing that was sort of the thing that carried them throughout all of the years, but I think they just sort of felt half-hearted, and it really did not at all work for me. So I didn't like that part.
I didn't even notice that. So you're right. It totally fell flat. I don't know where I was during that. Okay.
It was supposed to be this meaningful gesture, and it was like her connection to him at the season, and they didn't do enough with it to make it that kind of a thing.
Because they were too busy ghosting each other, Josh. You didn't
That's
care
exactly right.
You're right. Jennifer, they even ghosted the worker. The one lady was like, you ghosted me. You didn't really, like, what's with you? What's their character counts? And
they're millennials.
right?
That's the problem. They're all
Right?
millennials, and
I
they're
guess
just
so.
used to doing that.
Hallmark should rethink their new ageist stance and stick with
Right.
the older actors who
Exactly.
don't ghost people. So
You know who's not going to go somebody? Lacey Chabert.
that's right.
Holly Robinson
There's
Pete would never. She would
Never.
right.
She
Nope.
would never.
She's going to write a handwritten note explaining
Exactly. She's
And
going to
deliver
send it
it.
in the mail.
She's going to call up on her phone. Yeah, Shay, it's me, Holly Robinson Pete. Shay, yeah, Shay. Okay, listen, I may be a little bit older, but I don't ghost people, Shay. We know how it goes. Seth, are we now ageist? Are they coming for us now? Is this
we
is this a
might
terrible
be.
segment?
I know, this has been a
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of weird that that article comes out right around this time. This movie coming out or releasing.
Yes,
It's like,
really.
okay.
Jennifer, we have coming out on Wednesday a whole expose we're doing on is Hallmark ageist or not. I highly recommend it. We are waiting. We believe we're going to get a Pulitzer for it. I'm not saying definitely, but like 99% chance.
Yeah.
So
And included in the class action lawsuit. I can
Yes.
send you guys the link if you want.
Please do.
Right. Exactly.
We're no longer whippersnappers ourselves, so we might need to get in on it.
Yeah, right. I don't think we can be ageist at our age, Seth, anymore.
know.
So yeah.
Well, it's funny because I appreciate
Punch
that they
up.
are like this movie definitely has a younger vibe and they're breathing new life into it. Same thing with Holiday Crashers, Twas the Date. There's been a strong pull for these newer movies,
Yes.
younger movies, get a younger audience, but we still like. I mean, all ages matter, guys. Like
That's right.
remember,
All age. Did you see for next year they're filming already a movie where two toddlers fall in love at Christmas? It's getting extreme. It's too much.
would not surprise me.
Yeah.
Gotta get the TikTok crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's wild. So next, where are we? Anyone know who we are?
Ridiculous
Josh
moments.
his,
I did
you like
mine.
the bell.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
I got
Yes.
totally lost.
I had something I remember. I forgot mine and now I remember. I did not need the mom involved. Like I wish it had just been friends. What was the mom's purpose? She like what she
Right.
couldn't afford to
Right.
come. Other than like we could have mentioned, hey, we didn't have a lot of money growing up or money's tight. Like that's really all that service was saying mom can't afford to come see me at Christmas. Like I didn't know why we needed to cast somebody for it. I didn't need her there at the end. She didn't
Yeah.
really do anything for me or add much to the
Great.
story.
That's such
That's
a
a
great
good
point because the roommate served that same kind of
Yeah.
role for her, as sort of her voice of reason and support in all of this. So I'm with you. I don't think we needed mom in this. And that's sort of, we run into that sometimes with these, where there's just way too many B characters that are surrounding the main folks, and we just don't need them because they don't add anything.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Right. One time in 5 years, the mom could have gotten there. I feel you're right.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
so
Even
Cousins- yeah.
when she finally, when the mom finally shows up at the end, it was like Alice's reaction wasn't like, "Oh, it's finally here." It's like, "Okay, you made it finally.
Yeah.
right.
Thanks for joining
About
us."
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been half a decade. Half a
Right.
decade, mom. Yeah. Makes sense. And
You ever
okay.
heard of Spirit Air? They run great deals regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, they're flying into Chicago. There's some major airports there.
Not hard to get there. Not hard to get
No.
Get some points. Save up some points.
something.
Right. Very good. Yeah, I like that. For me, the weirdest and most ridiculous moment was how they aged them year to year. One dude just grew a mustache. He took
I
a
know.
whole year. Yeah, everything was the same. Yes, and that's it. A mustache. Well, it's another year.
And her hair was either poofier or cut tighter. That's all.
Right, which
The
just meant it
volume.
was
Yeah.
right. Just that was just telling us the humidity level, not what year it was.
Right?
And the dude, the lead, Max, didn't change at all. But the one guy's mustache was wild. Was that real, Seth? We need another expose.
No.
No. Okay.
This is assuredly not real.
Okay.
It was that.
Exactly. He just put his finger up to his lip. Yeah, that was funny because we're like, it's clearly a year later. There's a mustache. That's always indicative of a year
Right.
passing.
Time
Has to have a
lapsing,
big
right?
hair change. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we all towards the last part of this show we were all wearing mustaches now, so we knew we're 40 minutes in. That's the
Next
only way to
time.
go.
Next time we'll think ahead. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that was my weirdest and most ridiculous. Now this is a fun segment. and our Christmas wish list, what you'd change. Now, when Cousin Seth wrote all these segments and these titles, this was, I thought, is most brilliant because it's fun, because it's all about shaking up the snow globe and reimagining this film. What would you add or detract? A little more romance, a little more reindeer action. Tell us what you tweak to make it worthy of Santa's nice list. And I don't know what that means, reindeer action. And please, get your head out of the gutters, people. I'm just riffing. So... Jennifer, you were up to save me from me saying reindeer action. I need to learn how to edit. Yes.
Yes, I got it. So I wish we could have seen the end of her performance she put together, because we hear like in the beginning she made one character a lobster. They lost Tiny Tim. Like they'd throw in these little quips and how quirky it is, how quirky she is, and the production was quirky, but everybody loved it, and we didn't get to see any of it. And I wish we could have seen just like the smallest glimmer of it. Because I think that would have been a lot of fun, and it would have checked more of our Christmas boxes. It would have given us more Christmas feels. So that's what I wish we could have seen.
Great point. Yes, right. Because that would have added two things. It would have brought us more into what she was doing, seen her performance, and the Christmas as well. Excellent point. That is a great point.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. There you go. That's the ding. So
the ding of approval.
Yeah, exactly. That's very rare on this show, Jennifer. Congratulations.
You don't hear that often.
That's right. So, Josh, what do you have for your Christmas wish list? What you would change? Shake up that snow globe.
Well, mine sort of dovetails with that. I think it would have been great that we see him sort of swoop in at the 11th hour to act in her presentation that she's doing, because he's this big deal actor and she's trying to make a name for herself. There should have been like a last minute oopsie doodle hiccup where her actor had appendicitis or something like that and suddenly couldn't do it, and he sort of swoops in and they reconcile and work together. That's the thing, we never got to see them work together on much of anything other than delivering drinks to people, and that doesn't count for me. So I think that would have been a really good way to sort of tie all of that together at the end, where he sort of helped save the day for her big first production at the theater.
Yeah, but she didn't need him. Okay, she was an independent woman.
I get that.
She didn't need. I did like, and this is a sidebar, I'm sorry, but year 4 she was going to follow him to California, right? And then she got her gig. I loved that she did not follow him, because she was going to pursue her career. So many times people will just give up their whole career and dreams to chase a relationship. And I like that they included that she stayed to work on her own dreams. I thought that
I'm glad she did the same thing. But I think that he could have helped her, and she could have appreciated something different about him, and they could have worked together on that at the end in a way that I think would have helped them both and made them both even better, which is the keystone of a relationship, right?
Right.
You're right. I like that. Okay, because we see that a lot. They've known each other for 3 days, and one moves from the big city to the small town or whatever. Yeah. So for her to do that. Okay. Oh, this is good. I think those are really great points. That would have made the movie much better, actually. Cousin Seth. Is there something you would change? But don't say put yourself as the lead again. You can't say that every week.
That's always my default.
Every time.
Every time.
I would have loved to have seen the city of Chicago more prominently featured. There's some great spots around the city. And
the Christmas market. That would have been fun.
I just dug in. I mean, you're in Chicago. There's so much to do with your Michigan Avenue, all that stuff, go see decorations. So I guess I would have liked seeing that. I liked. I would like to have seen more variation in kind of how they met up with each other and were reunited. No, I was so entranced by Josh and Jennifer's kind of conversation back and forth. I was like, oh wow, this guy got me thinking. Yeah, I just felt like there was a couple things that didn't go anywhere. But I don't know. Yeah, but overall, I liked it. It did seem like a nice little shift in kind of Hallmark movies as far as casting and just overall feel of the movie. So it gave me those feels. Maybe not holiday so much, but
I like that. Seth, sense of place. You're going to make it in Chicago. Show us Chicago. I think that's a great point, actually. Yeah. So for mine, what I would change, and this may be breaking news, this is probably going to be headlines, I would change the leads. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I loved both lead. I thought they were both great, adorable, lots of fun. But together, I got friend vibes the whole movie. I did not get vibes that they were romantic at all. I got that they were best bud vibes, and I liked that, and I liked them a lot. But I just did not get those romance vibes that you're getting, like, say, 'Twas the Date Before Christmas. I felt like a connection with those two the whole time. And so for me, that just threw me off a little, that even though they kissed so early on and stuff, I just got that they seemed like buddies and not lovers.
I agree.
Yeah, maybe
Josh does
kissing
not, but
cousins.
I agree.
Oh, okay. So you thought that, Jennifer?
Yeah, I think they were better off as friends. But
Yeah, maybe in the sequel. So Josh, you thought that they were a good romantic match.
Well, I think that there's romantic potential. Like, are they getting married? I don't know. But I think what we saw was them sort of grow that friendship to the point where they could then explore romance and all of that. I think that we got in that year one moment that they had sort of been in each other's orbit for 3 years at this point. So it's not like we were just meeting each other that first go round. So I think that there was clearly some sort of mutual interest they were trying to show us early on, but I felt it a little bit more obviously than the two of you did. So,
All right, I might be swayed. I don't know.
no, stand firm.
you don't have to
Oh, okay. Okay, now I'm swayed to stand firm. Now I'm swayed to change my mind. Oh,
do
no.
that. Do that.
Yeah,
thing.
what's going on? Okay. This is terrible. So, I mean, I don't know. Okay. So, who knows? Cousin Seth, what did you think? Did you think you be the tiebreaker? Yeah, this is great. Did you think they had like romantic chemistry, or did they come off more friends?
I don't know.
Seth, a lot of people say our show, we have no romantic chemistry, you and me. None. And that's a lot of reviews say that. And it's just, that's not cool. But anyway, go on, Seth.
I'm personally offended.
Me too.
Go on. Question?
I don't know.
Did you think they had romantic vibes or friend vibes?
Oh, yes.
The leads.
Yeah, there are a couple moments. I mean, obviously, the moments where they almost kiss and where they do kiss, but I saw it more if he was like, he had something for her, and she was kind of, well, maybe I like him, maybe I'll let him in my world or whatever. Then she would, I don't know, second guess herself. But yeah, I think for him, it seemed the love and admiration seemed to run throughout.
So does anybody know what Seth said? Because I don't know if he said that there was or wasn't.
He's walking a fine line here.
Yeah, right. Politician, this guy.
No, seriously.
I think he was more in love with her. He was finding more. I think he wanted more out of it than she did.
All right, we'll vote for you, Seth. I still don't know what you said. It's brilliant. This is brilliant electioneering.
Thankfully, I'm not influencing anyone. Did not be called to.
No, so our last part, we're going to give an overall rating. It can be out of 10, whatever you want. 10 elves, 10 theater productions, 10 Christmas trees, 10 whatever. So, Josh, you are up first. What would you rate this movie overall out of 10? The crowd is waiting with bated breath.
This, for me, is probably going to get a solid 7.5.
7.5.
7.5.
Nice. Okay.
I
Nice.
liked it a lot. I would probably watch it again. I think that it gave me a fair amount of feels. I liked the development of their relationship. And I texted Jennifer while I was watching this. I think I may be becoming a Katie Finlay stan, and she burst out onto the scene last year in Sealed with a List, which was, I said this early on, sometimes we get these movies that we don't really think are going to do much of anything, and Sealed with a List wound up being one of our most favorite movies that we watched last season out of the whole season. And she was the star in that. And I think she has this really good knack of playing this quirky, endearing thing, and it really comes off really well. So I think she was the bright spot for me. So the final score is a 7.5 for me.
7.5. Wow, excellent. And she is supernatural. What a natural actor. So was the other guy. Yeah, they both leads. Actually, even the tertiary characters were. Jennifer, what is your rating here on 5 Year Christmas Party?
I am going to give it a 7 out of 10 burger sliders because they
Wow. Yes, they did.
And I feel like all I've done is been negative, and that was not my goal. I really did like this movie. I like that Hallmark took big chances. I like the time jumps. I love the actors. I like the quirky. I mean, they made a Muppet Christmas Carol reference, and you will not find a bigger Muppet fan than Jennifer from Do You Watch What I Watch? Okay, so I rewound it 3 times. I was laughing. I was appreciative of it. There was so much that I liked. I just think overall, I even liked that it was in the city. I liked that it was a lot of friends centric things. So I guess I don't know why I crapped all over it. I feel like, but it just was lacking a little Christmas spark that I can't put my finger on it. So that's why it's a 7 out of 10. I would watch it again. I think even down to the soundtrack, when they're doing these montages year to year where they're not, when they're ghosting each other, it had like almost Joni Mitchell music vibes. Like the music, the score was different. It could have been an indie Christmas movie. This could have been a Netflix movie easily, I think.
Right.
And maybe it should have been, because I think it will appeal to that younger crowd. So I really liked it. 7 out of 10. It's not my favorite of the year, but it's up there. I like it.
That's still a good rating. I like that. And clearly the audience is behind you. They're clapping. Very polite clapping. Very polite audience. Yeah. Cousin Seth.
I'm gonna.
That's his theme music. Bagpipe. It's lovely. Yes. What is your rating?
I think my rating system. I always seem to find or reoccur or pops up in these as you get a little bit of insight and assistance into choosing a Christmas tree. Seems like in some of these movies, people are arborists or they very much know about different trees and stuff like that. So, this movie didn't lack that. It had, at one point, Alex was going on about it, or I think it was Alex. But anyway, so with that, I will give it 7 Christmas trees.
Wow.
I enjoyed it. I like the storyline. I like your comment about it being kind of like an indie kind of film on Netflix. Like, yeah, I could totally see that. It was kind of had that feel a little bit watching it, and So, and something I never thought I'd say before, but I think I would watch this one again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you, Cousin Seth.
Yeah,
growing
I
before
like
our
it.
eyes. Yeah,
I know.
This is all part of the journey. This is amazing. Wow.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So
Happy to be a part of it.
He had his first ever taste of eggnog on air. Like, that's the journey we've been doing together, and it's been wild. He almost didn't survive that. Actually, it was
rough.
Now, was it boozy eggnog or just store bought?
Store bought. 1 regular, 1 vegan. Yeah.
Which one did it for you, Seth? Was it the vegan or the regular? Do you remember?
I think I don't even remember. I think the vegan one was like slightly better. That's even possible.
I'm not a nog girl either.
Listen, I am a nog guy. We have an heirloom family eggnog recipe, and if I can figure out a way to ship boozy eggnog to Chicago from Tennessee,
that would be amazing.
Let me get to work on that.
Yes, please.
I will drive down and pick it up. I will be more than happy to drive down.
Can you imagine if I just threw a thermos of eggnog in FedEx?
Right.
And they go, "Sir, what are you shipping? What are the contents of this package?" They wouldn't believe you.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Right, exactly. We are doing in early December a eggnog cocktail party on air as well. So, Josh, if you're a big eggnog aficionado, hit us up. You can join. It's going to be wild. Jennifer, come on as well. Seth hates it. My whole goal is for Seth to throw up basically live on air. The ratings bonanza. It's going to be great. So, Seth, listen to this.
I'll try another one of this.
Oh, God.
Another sip of the regular. Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Here he goes, everybody. Second sip ever of eggnog. Here we go.
Nope.
That's That's my favorite sound clip. If you,
It's so awful.
It's so bad.
so great. I keep that clip in my little sound bank. That's how I sleep to. It's white noise for me. It just plays on a loop.
Just on repeat.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
He goes, oh, nope. That's the best. But Jennifer and Josh, if you have a few minutes tomorrow, and everybody listening, go back a few episodes. We did put up on YouTube. We don't, well, mostly we do now, but we did a Trader Joe's tasting. The first one, we did 2 this season. And I'm having pumpkin oatmeal overnight oats. And Cousin Seth just watching me almost throws up, just watching. And my wife, who I've known for like 30 years, told me she'd never see me laugh harder in our lives. So it's great. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's really good. So my rating overall, okay, here is the thing. Not Christmas. Now, our dear friend Joe, the Christmas aficionado, who's also on YouTube, loved this show and was texting me, this is his favorite of the season, everything. I liked it. There were parts. I did not like there was a lot that I didn't like. I didn't like that I didn't feel the romantic connection. I didn't like that it didn't feel super Christmassy. At one point, I was watching, and some of these fly by. I'm like, oh, it's the end. I thought it was the end, and I clicked, and there were like 40 minutes left. I was like, oh, that's not a good sign.
The middle dragged.
Yeah,
the middle did drag.
Yep.
A little repetitive. I would not watch this again. Maybe just to see the mustache. That was really sweet. So I'm giving this, that was it. I'm giving this 6 out of 10 frostbitten fingers because they did not wear gloves outside in Chicago. So I wouldn't watch again. I'm very busy watching a Christmas Cottage and Picture a Perfect Christmas. So I don't have time anyway. I'm very busy.
The margin is low. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So if it's not super Christmassy, I'm not going to watch it because like I try watching some of the off-season ones. Occasionally I'll like a fall one. But like my dear cousin Seth said, he misses the Christmas ones when we're watching trying to watch a fall one. So that's my rating. Not terrible. Great performances, but not.
Well, now speaking of fall ones, and this is the week to bring this up, but there is a great one that if you have never seen, might very well be worth your time.
Ooh.
October Kiss.
With Ashley Williams. Is she
Ashley
in it?
Williams. She's in it. It takes place at Halloween. It is a winner start to finish. It is heartfelt and fun. And Jennifer and I certainly hope I'm not overstepping here, Jennifer. I think we think it's a great one. I think we think it's well worth the watch.
We are definitely more into the Christmas, Hanukkah, winter solstice movies, but October Kiss isn't every year. She's like a nanny and there's kids, but they're not annoying. And it's just, it's a great Halloween Hallmark movie. The best.
Yeah. And it ends with a trick-or-treat scene in the most satisfying of ways. So,
okay, I may have to have an emergency. This is breaking news. Emergency viewing, right? Seth, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I am.
I'm clearing my schedule as we speak.
Yes, I'm with you, Seth. Yes, blocking off everything. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
Work be damned.
Exactly. I hope the mortgage isn't due this week because I have to watch October Kiss. The bank's not going to understand. But I will watch it, actually. I think that's great. Okay. Anything to take your mind off what's going on in the world right now, I'll go with October Kiss.
More movies.
Yeah, exactly. More snow globes.
Who needs therapy? Let's just get that Hallmark point.
That's exactly it. They should use that as a tagline. But
right?
Jennifer and Josh, one last thing. Cousin Seth, as the Roman emperor style that you are, at the end, when we have new guests on, we decide, Cousin Seth, are they going to be honorary cousins? Have they risen to that level? Sometimes he's actually decapitated people. So this is very, very serious. Cousin Seth, give us your... Yes.
I have to say, on this occasion, we've had such a wonderful time. To let you go and not make you part of the family would be a travesty. So please welcome cousin Jennifer and cousin Josh.
Wow. It's amazing.
The way you worded that really concerned me, and I thought the door was going to open, and I was just going to fall down.
Like a trap door situation.
Yeah, seriously.
One of you will achieve great heights with us. The other, well, it's going to fall off.
That's amazing. Well, welcome to the Christmas Cousins family, guys. That was awesome. This was a lot of fun. Maybe even too much fun, one would say, for a Monday evening when we're recording. No one's allowed to have this much fun on a Monday.
Honestly, right?
Get us together. Well, we would
Yes.
I'd like to extend our official invite for you all to be on our podcast if you're willing.
Oh, with our 100 strong audience, we bring our audience. Okay.
Bring your audience, bring your 31 billion people with you and your sound effects, and we'd love to have you.
We'd love to.
That. Seth, we are in. I think we do have something scheduled in the works. We will finalize that. Thank you so much. So thank you, everybody who's listening. These two are fabulous. Jennifer and Josh, do you watch what I watch on podcast? Listen on podcast. Watch it on YouTube. It's fantastic. A lot of fun. I love what you guys are doing. I loved having you on the show. It was such a great fit. And that you overcame your fear, kind of how enamored you were with cousin Seth, and were able to speak to him as if he's immortal like the rest of us. Is great, because a lot of people can't do that. So,
well, I know that there are people out there that are just known by one name. You know, you think Madonna, you think Adele, you think Celine, you think Seth. It's just like the same sort of feeling is just like all there. Yeah,
you're right.
It's overpowering.
Overpowering. Well said. Yes.
That's right. Yeah. See, Seth, I'm not alone. I'm not alone in thinking this, and I've known you my whole life. So that's how it is. So thank you guys so much. Check us out, christmascousinspod@gmail.com if you want to email us and send Seth some love letters or fan letters. at Christmas Cousins on Facebook and Instagram. So check us out there as well. And everybody, we will see you next time. Thanks so much. Thank you for coming out, audience. Thank you again, Jennifer and Josh. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.